different part of the forest today. We're actually on the other side of the hill because I want to maybe walk around with you guys and get better reception over here. So you guys can get a little view of the forest. But anywho, welcome, welcome. If you don't know who I am Tara with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. If you want to learn a little bit more about me, you can check out all the information down below, including my website, kittensweightsandtarot.com. All right, so hopefully everybody's having a wonderful Sunday. Looks like we have a lot of folks already in here. Hello, hello. Let's see, Janine is here. Hello. Dragon, Aurora, Susie. So good. So good to see you guys. Katie S. Worker, hello. She says hello from Dallas. Discovered Channel 1 a week ago and really liked my experience. Hey, and Butterfly Love Child. Hey, hey, you guys. Oh my gosh. All the homies are back in town. So anyway, hello, you guys. Welcome, welcome. I do want to give a shout out first and foremost to all of my supporters out there. So hello to all of my subscribers. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do consider doing so, as it really does help out the channel. So thank you, thank you. And I want to give a shout out to my YouTube members. So Lisa and Kayla and Susie and Jamie, thank you so much. And my Patreon homies. By the way, we have a brand new patron, Myrna. So hello and welcome. We have Lily and Dana and Jamie and Charles and Kayla, Surian, Brandy, Samara, Jason, and Brian. Thank you guys all so much. Okay. Let's see. Let's go back here. Lily, hello, hello. How are you? Diamond says, hi to all. Tara, how is Arizona? Arizona is going well. It's going to be about 81 today. We have a nice breeze. We have these nice kind of brisk mornings. So you know that fall is getting close, the cooler months. So yeah, we're waking up in the morning. I'm like, what is this? I'm having to put on a sweatshirt. Like, but hey, we got a brand new wood burning stove, and we kind of put it all together, but we haven't set it up yet. So we're gonna we have to set up the chimney and everything. So we're gonna kind of retrofit the RV just a little bit so we can get that going. We bought some tiles and everything to put underneath. So that's kind of an exciting new project. We already outlined where we want our Wallapini, which is going to be our in-ground greenhouse. So yeah, lots of good stuff going on. I've been kind of procrastinating on building shelves in the cabin, which are like super easy to do, but hey, maybe I'll do it today. I don't know. So yeah, lots of good stuff going on over here. Let's see. Let's go back to your messages. Aurora says, have mystical journey, water temple, and sacred forest ready to go. All right. Lily says, merry meet. Aurora saying, merry meet. Moonchild me, hello from Oregon. Whoop, whoop. Welcome, welcome. Susie said, I had to end it, Tara, due to finances, but I'll be back, I promise. Hey, no worries. No worries. Peg is hello from Iowa. Hello, hello. Oh, very cool. Lily was saying the sound is a little choppy. Is it? Hopefully it's not my sweatshirt like banging on this thing. We're saying a lot of new names. I know. So good to see you guys. And then it says, hello, Moon Pie. Thanks for the invite. Thank you for all the welcomes. Yes, welcome, welcome. Diamond says, Paul Walker in line for the meditation. Again, we'll definitely do a video just for him. Actually, a video for the other 3 people that were in that YouTube poll that we posted, where it was like the next person to channel. So the winner of that poll, that next person to channel, is coming out tomorrow, Monday. But the other 3 people that we had on there, we had Kobe Bryant, we had Tupac, and we had Paul Walker. So we still want to do channelings of those 3 people as well. So we'll definitely get to them. We just want to space out our celebrities just a little bit, so it's not back-to-back celebrity. Otherwise, everybody thinks that we just do celebrity channelings. But we want to do, you know, a little stuff here and there as we get called to it. But yeah, he's definitely still in the pipeline. Oh, yes, JFK. That one we've had on the list for a while. We've been kind of trying to figure out like when would be the appropriate time to do that channeling. But yeah, we have a huge list now. So thank you to everybody who's given us suggestions for channelings. We have everybody from well, yeah, we have JFK, we have Mark Zuckerberg, we have what was it? Albert Einstein. There was yeah, you know, Paul Walker's Tupac, Kobe. Um, some people were wanting to know about the Roswell incident. There were, I don't know, there's just a bunch of stuff on there. Some people were asking like, what is source and are there other sources? Just yeah, so many suggestions. Thank you guys so much. Um, so yeah, I'm pretty sure we're not going to run out of ideas now. Let's see. Lily says, okay, I backed in and out and the sound is good now. All right. Excellent. Moonchild said, first time here. Well, woo woo. Welcome, welcome. Peg said, 5 by 5 for me and love your energy, positivity. Hell yeah. um, I rode with the moon. We are peeping in. Excellent. Um, Aurora said, Tara, I invited a gamer friend to join us. I don't know if she'll be here or not. I'll let you know. Okay, cool beans. DJ Eddie says, I'm super excited for the MJ channeling. I'm so curious about his death. Well, he does talk about that. Yes, he does. For sure. We did get to that. Um, so Katie S said November. Aurora saying Merry Meet to DJ. All right. Okay, you guys. So I just wanted to have kind of a, as always, like laid back Sunday. We sling some cards, but also I don't want to sit here the whole time. I want to take the camera and take you guys for a walk around up here. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. Michelle, how's it going? Um, Moon said, love your smile. What is your first name? It is Tara. Hello, hello. Oh, yeah. So, people who are coming in, if you don't know who I am Tara, the owner of Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. Again, you can check out the website, www.kittensweightsandtarot.com. The link is down below. I have a whole About Me section and upcoming things. I do have to update the website a little bit for the upcoming events and things like that. But yeah. When child's a pretty name. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. KDS said the last time JFK was channeled to me, he had a CTA regarding human trafficking. Interesting. Well, yeah, we definitely like to get into not only hopefully, I mean, it all kind of depends on the energy that I'm channeling. I can't force an entity, number one. That's another thing. I can't force an entity to be channeled. You know, I could have the intention like, hey, I want to, you know, channel this person. And more often than not, you know, I always do get to channel that person or situation or location, you know, whatever it may be. But sometimes I either get their ego self, meaning their I guess it would be like their human self, their human essence, or I get their higher self, just their spirit from you know higher vantage point. Sometimes I get a mixture of the two, and that's kind of always just up to the energy, you know, again of the person, location, or situation, or you know, it could be we're even looking into an animal or something. But it's like whatever it feels comfortable with presenting when I'm channeling. So I always find that to be the most fascinating part, especially when James is always asking, like, who are we speaking to today? Are we speaking to the higher self? Are we speaking to the ego? Is it a mixture of the two? You know, so yeah, it's fun. um, okay, so let's have a little bit of water here. And let's pull some cards this morning. And then I want to take you guys on a walk. How does that sound? Okay, Susie says, Tara, can you channel The Simpsons show sometime? Curious about what it will reveal. That's interesting because I've had a couple of people so far have been bringing up The Simpsons lately and talking about The Simpsons and wondering if The Simpsons was trying to warn or do predictive programming, as is a lot of shows and movies. They're trying to prep us for something while at the same time trying to maybe program something into our minds so that we manifest it for them. We don't know, but Simpsons, that's interesting because that's something I used to it was always on Fox Television, and me and my family would watch it, like, all the time. I think when I went off to college, I didn't watch The Simpsons anymore, but yeah. We used to watch it always. Let's see. Erica, hello, hello, how are you? Um, Katie says James is great. Yeah, he has the best questions. That's why I mean, he can channel as well. I mean, we all can to our varying different degrees, I believe, but he's just so much better at questions than I am. If I was the one doing all the interviewing of these spirits, I would be like, so how's the other dimensions? Like, so I'm glad he's the one that asked the questions. Um, let's see, Aurora said, "Love your necklace, Tara, the triquetra." Yes, I was like, how many people are gonna notice the triquetra? Um, always makes me think of Charmed. Very nice. Susie said, "Cool." And Lily, "How are the squirrels?" I think it was the squirrels that were freaked out a while back. The squirrels are doing so much better. Ooh, let me give you an update on um, Miss Squirrel, since that's our like a main squirrel out here. And Moonchild was says, "Am I in Arizona?" Why, yes, I am. I am in the White Mountains of Arizona. All right, Nancy's here. Excellent. So yeah, okay. Update on the squirrels. So Miss Squirrel kind of got back into not being freaked out anymore, but she did move house. So she said goodbye to her rat friends and she moved to the other side of the hill. And so last Sunday when we had the chat, she actually came out after I hadn't seen her in like a couple of weeks. And I was like kind of worried, like, is Miss Squirrel okay? But after that incident, what was it? She had come out the incident where she was all freaked out with the snake coming into her home. Um, she came over to the other side of the RV where James and I were having like a barbecue, and she brought her baby. So she brought her baby up to us. Like she wanted to show us, like, this is my child. This is one of them, one of the few that I had that I was trying to protect when the snake came. And we were like, oh my gosh, it was such a I wish I could have photographed it, I could have filmed it or something, but I was just, like, in the moment, just this squirrel bringing me her child, like, "Hey, this is my kid." Her kid, of course, was, like, a little freaked out because he's never really seen humans before, so he ran off, but she was like, "Don't mind him." So she hung out with us for a little while. It was really nice, and then she disappeared for a couple of weeks, and I was like, is she okay? I tapped into her and she's like, don't worry about me. I'll be back briefly, but she says, I am getting ready for the change of season. My kids are big enough where they're going to be moving out of my nest because they were about this big now. And she's like, they're going to be moving out of the nest. I have to go do my momming, my mom squirrel stuff. So she says, I have to show them how to hunt. I have to show them how to eat, how to, well, hunt for like, I mean, they don't really eat meat, but they're like hunting for like berries and food. And she wants to kind of take them off the hill because she doesn't want them to learn to rely on James and I like humans. Like, don't rely on humans. They're not always going to be there. So, like, she's like, I just want them to be able to survive on their own. So I'm showing them the ways of being a squirrel, but I'll be back. So I was like, okay. So then last Sunday, I saw her. I called her over for you guys. I know you couldn't see her in the camera because she's like really low to the ground. But she came over. I was so excited. I talked with her after the chat. It was nice to hang out with Miss Squirrel. She seems to be doing better. She's molting, by the way. I thought she was always a red squirrel, but in the wintertime, she's gray. So she totally matches the landscape. That's freaking cool, like great camouflage. Um, I saw her yesterday. I gave her a little tangerine and she was very grateful. She was holding the tangerine. She was like, "Mm." I found out that we have two bunnies that live on our hill. Well, actually, one's not really a bunny. The other one's a jackrabbit. And we have a baby cottontail that's about this big, not much bigger than Miss Squirrel, actually. In fact, it's only like a little bit bigger than Miss Squirrel. The cottontail is now living in Miss Squirrel's old home with the rats. So the rats are now taking care of a baby bunny. Like, yeah, it's magical, you guys. It's magical. Um, okay, so let's go here. Um, Susie says, I would flip out too if a snake came into my home. I know, right? Said, glad she's all right. Yes. Magic Universe said, so cute. um, Kayla, hey, how are you, girlfriend? Lee said, I know we are out in the boonies, so the internet can get a little sketchy. All right. Although I can't stay here too long because it's going to get like pretty sunny. um, okay, let's see. Amanisha, hello. She says, I have bunnies by my house. So cute. And she said, this is the year of the rabbit, and I'm a rabbit. That is so cool. Lily said, that's so amazing. I love nature. I'm so happy for you and James. Thank you. And Moonchild said, squirrels are so cute. I have them here too. Tell the cats no squirrels or birds, but they don't always listen, unfortunately. Oh. um, yeah, Peg says, I'm just going to ask if it was me or YouTube. Yeah, YouTube like kicked me off. I think there's better reception here. It's just that there's not a whole lot of shade right here. um, okay, so while we're here, let me just move my little karambit. Okay, I have my Wally's World Oracle here. I do want to pull us a card for the week while we are all here. Okay, let me put my sunnies on. It's a little sunny. Okay. Amanisha said, love Wally and Loki. Yes, my babies. Well, actually, this is Wally, if you guys don't know. Well, that's a baby picture of Wally. But yeah, Wally and Loki are safe and sound in the nice, cool city of San Diego. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull a card. If you guys have your cards nearby or you're ready to channel something and tap into that good old intuition, go ahead and put some messages for us. That's what we have this live chat for, is so that we can all share in our messages, share our intuition, our thoughts, our feelings, anything that's going on in our lives. Amanisha's like, no way. I just thought about them and you pulled out the deck. You know, I have been dreaming about my babies lately. They've been popping up in my dreams. It's so nice to hang out with them in the astral. Whoa. Okay, this has to be one of my favorite cards in the whole deck. Okay, hold on. Let me just put the cards there so they don't fly away. Okay, so we have this card, and of course we have Wally stuck right there. But this is a picture that I took at my friend's Dia de los Muertos party. And this is his pan de muerto. And that's his mother or his grandma and grandpa. Actually, I have my my pictures over here. So everybody, all friends that came to the party, we all put pictures of our loved ones that crossed over so we could put them on the spirit altar. It's always a wonderful party. I'm sorry I can't go this year because it's in California. I'm in Arizona. It'd be quite a drive to my buddy's house, but he has a whole thing. Like they go all out with like decorations and just like food. And he has a friend of his that is a really good medium. And so she comes and we keep a loved one's picture in front of us and she tries to connect to that loved one. So she goes around the table for everyone. She just does it, you know, because she's, you know, good friends with our friends. So, yeah, so nice. But let's dive into this one. Susie said, "Love this card too. One of my favorites." Okay. And then Amanisha was saying that she loves the name Aurora Sea Star. Yeah, Aurora comes up with the coolest screen names. Caitlin. Okay, so let's dive into this. Oh, okay then. All right, so it's a little more literal. Normally, when I'm using this deck, it's like I don't know, it's like a jumping off point for the messages that I get. And this one was saying that for not just this week, but kind of a lot more intensified, I guess, this week, and then moving forward, um, the veil has gotten so thin, not just around Samhain time or Halloween, but just in general, year after year, the veil between the worlds, from this world, which we call 3D, the other worlds, which we call like 4D, 5D, and above, we're all overlapped with one another. And so that's why sometimes people might, let's say, see something either with their third eye or their own two human eyes. And what they're peering into is the dimensions that overlap with this dimension. So it's like briefly they get to see, like if somebody pushed the curtain aside for just a moment, and they could see that overlap. And so, what our friends, our family, our ancestors who are in those other dimensions, which technically fragments of ourselves are also in those other dimensions because we never really truly die, so we're alive in our past and in our future as well as in our present. Um, but they're saying that you might see an increase in activity, so to speak. Not like the movies where they try to scare us, like Paranormal Activity or anything, but where you put something down, you notice it's in a different place. You might notice that something is now missing from your home. You might notice that it sounds like somebody called your name, and those are all things and experiences that I guess we've had throughout our lives. Every once in a while we have those unexplained experiences, even back when we were children, where like, I thought I heard somebody call my name, or I thought I heard a knocking at the door. Well, for this upcoming week, and it's not really specifying why, but it's saying for this upcoming week, expect all those experiences that you used to have in the past, expect them to be amplified this week. And it's not because um, that there's more spirits. It's not because, of any of that. It's just that space between our world and all the other worlds that we also reside in, it's just so thin, and we're really going to notice it. And especially those of you that are already sensitive to spirit, you already tap into that. Some of you guys are mediums and things like that, so you're in that world. Expect that more. And just as a reminder, not to get freaked out. I know that our logic brain has a hard time understanding, like usually when we go to somebody's funeral or something, we see that as a finality. Like that's final, it's done, the person is no longer here. And so sometimes when our logic brain, with our own two peepers, sees that person once again outside of death, sometimes we get freaked out. And so the message here is this is not a time to get freaked out, but an understanding that how beautiful that is, that you are now even more so able to see and connect with that spirit world, even if you already have that connection. But even so, if you don't already have that connection, that you will start to connect more with that. And let this be a jumping off point for many of you to dive deeper into that. Let this be a healing week for many of you to embrace that, ask questions, tap into your intuition, go into your heart space, because your logic brain isn't going to have any answers for you. It's going to say that what I'm seeing or what I'm hearing or what I'm feeling isn't real. Or I'm losing my mind. That's what it's going to tell you, because it just doesn't understand. So that's why Wally here is like, you got to go inwards, you got to go into that heart space. If you see grandma standing at the door, or you hear her in the other room, but you know that grandma's been passed away, then it's like, okay, grandma, I hear you. I know that life truly never does end. What message do you have for me? Instead of like, oh my God, grandma's back from the dead, and then you go running off into the other room. Again, that's just the logic brain. It doesn't understand. So this is a good week for us to really gain some healing, really tap into our ancestors, our loved ones, our pets that have crossed over, and ask for guidance. And also, is there anything I could do here in 3D that can help you in your realm? Let's try to help one another. And of course, with an increase in spiritual activity, that means you're going to have to ground yourself and make sure that your shields are up, your energetic boundaries, so that you know what you're seeing and what you're feeling is genuine. All right. Okay. All right. So let's go back here. I missed a ton of your comments. Aurora said, thank you, Amanisha. It's inspired by my birth name, Caitlin Marie Dawn Birch. Marie means star of the sea in French, and Aurora is the Roman goddess of dawn. Amanisha says, I have a friend named Serge Delmar. Something about the ocean in French. My sister's middle name is Dawn. And Susie said, Sur la mer, the moody blues, shows my age. Aurora said, first card from the Sacred Forest Oracle, Spirit Guardian of Spring with Activation. Um, and Amanisha said, oh no, Serge del Mar. There we go. Susie said, oh, I may have misspelled it. Oh, no worries. Aurora said, Knights in White Satin, Susie. Katie has said, I already experienced yesterday. I was so young and easily got messages from my grandfather, and he easily came through yesterday. Very cool. Amanisha said, my name means moonlit night. It's Bangla. Wow, beautiful. Amanisha says, yep, I'm losing my mind. You don't need cards to know that. Oh. um, and then Aurora said, white Nights in White Satin is another Moody Blues song. Amanisha. And Amanisha's like, I know, Susie, the 70s. All right. So interesting. Well, you know that obviously I'm always um, tapping into the spirit world. Not just when I'm on camera, but it's kind of an always thing. But I have noticed that like normally when I receive messages or I'm connecting with spirit, it's up here. It's in my third eye. It's almost like an overlay. Like I'm looking at something, my eye is transposing something on that. So it's like it's there, but it's not there. It's more here. I feel it. Sometimes I hear, messages, or it comes in the form of music, and mostly in music. Sometimes I feel it like on my skin. Um, and every once in a while, I do like smell like perfumes and cigars. But lately, I will say that I'm starting to see things with my own 2 eyes, which is not normal for me. Like, normally, it's every once in a while I would see that, but I'm starting to see that, like, on the hill a lot more. Like, people walking by, like, I saw somebody all dressed in, like, red standing next to my Jeep the other day. Um, there's a lady that we call the owl lady. James and I call owl lady because whenever we start to hear the owls, like that's when she shows up, and vice versa. When she shows up, we start to hear the owls again. But she's the change lady, and she's usually dressed in white. She's actually she never had a life here on Earth. Come to find out, she is actually one of she. She was created from the myth of our Native American ancestors. And because they believed in her so much, she actually did take form and she became something. So, what was it? What came first, the chicken or the egg? Was she already here and that's what they tapped into, or did they tap into it and did they create her? So that's kind of the thing. But whenever we see her, we can only see her from the neck down. It kind of looks like she has no head. And it's always brief. It's like 1 second we see her and then you look back and she's gone. But James and I both see her, and usually when we do, there are huge changes on the horizon, and we've seen her recently, and we're like, uh-oh, more changes. Okay, is it more shadow work? I don't know. Um, let's see. Amanisha says, I have trouble getting messages from grandparents, but for sure they're still around though. Aurora Satara, my birth father's birthday is Saturday. He'll be 48. Hey! Very cool. Happy birthday to him. By the way, I haven't sang happy birthday in a while for people. Do any of you guys have birthdays this week? Because I would love to sing happy birthday for you. Today, this week, any birthdays? Aurora said owl lady equals Athena. Um, well, I was kind of looking into the myth, and so what it was, in Native American culture, there was this, oh, how did it go? It was this woman who, hmm, she was going through it was something like she was going through difficulties in her life and she was ready to make some huge changes. But the changes meant that she had to forget everything about who she was. She basically, I guess if we translate it into modern times, she had to have an ego death, meaning she had to totally like drop her personality, her ego, everything, her human form, so that she could become 100% of her spirit self, her higher self, basically. And when she did so, she actually transformed into an owl, which is all wisdom, this big white owl, which actually we have one large white owl up here. We have a great horned owl here. And so they said that whenever you would see this owl was coming to bring you wisdom because it was a time for a big change in your life. It was a time for releasing as new knowledge came in. Technically, you know, that's kind of like the rough, rough version of the story. Um, let's see. Amanisha says white satin, Tara. Well, she's not exactly in white satin, but white nonetheless. And Susie said, "Oh, interesting. I have felt something similar too, not seeing them though." Interesting. KDS says, "I never tried to tap into my grandfather. I was 3 years old and he spoke to me. I lost my abilities around age 7, but I'm getting back with the spiritual work." Excellent. Yeah, you know, sometimes it just gets dialed down for a while to just a whisper, and then we can crank that baby back up again. Amanisha said her dad turns 97 on September 21st. Hey, happy birthday to your dad. Wow. I thought, well, let's see, my dad, what's this year? This year is 2023. So my dad turned 83 this year. Wow. That's so cool. Diamond had a past birthday recently. Okay. Well, maybe we do gotta do a little song. And Almaisha now has the song stuck in her head. Diamond said, "My dad and Paul Walker have the same day and month." So cool. John says, "Have an owl in the neighborhood. I just moved in." So cool. I love owls. I love to hear them outside the window at night when you just hear the whoo, 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 whoo. And then you can hear like the owl that's really far away that it's talking to, like whoo, whoo, whoo. I don't know. I just like to hear their communication. Okay, so let's do a little happy birthday because we've had some friends in here who have just had some past birthdays. We have people's daddies who are having their birthdays this month. And I'm sure some of you have some birthdays coming up either, you know, later in the month or whatnot. But let's do just a happy birthday. I don't know why I'm just like feeling it. Maybe there's some people too who are gonna watch the replay who also have some birthdays. So I'm just feeling the birthdayness. Let's do it. um, Aurora says owls stand for wisdom. Yes. Okay, let's do this. To all the homies who have just had birthdays or will have birthdays later this month, friends and family, here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all my lovely homies. Happy birthday to you. Boop, 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 be doop. All right. Happy birthday, you guys. KDS says, "Happy birthday, all." And Amanisha said, "Yes, my birthday is coming. I'm a Libra." And Susie, "Happy birthday." All right. You know what? James's aunt just had her birthday. Was it yesterday? No, the day before. So, yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Rora said, "Have a blessed day to all the September babies." Exactly. Katie is saying love. Okay, so I think it's time to take you guys out on a walk. It's time. If you guys would like to walk while we walk, that's cool. I'm gonna take you on a little show around here. Lily said, "I have a few owl sightings here where I live in Florida. They are so majestic and mysterious. Love them." Moonchild says, "I recall coming across someone that said Paul Walker was their twin flame. Interesting." And Moonchild said, "My mother's birthday was September 24th." So definitely sending lots of love. Doesn't matter where people live or even what dimension they're living in. We're wishing them a happy birthday. Okay, so I'm going to take this back over here. And I'm going to drop this off. Hold on. Okay, and we're back. Yeah, so I went back to the place where I guess the internet is dropping off. But anyway, let's go, you guys. So let's head over here. Maybe I should just flip this camera around. Let's do that. Okay. All right. So heading way out there, we have the town of Sholo somewhere way out there. But this is the west side of our hill. the west side of our hill. You can hear a stunt plane in the distance. We do have the Sholo Airport. A stunt plane in the distance. We do have the Sholo Airport, but it's kind of far away. We don't usually get a whole lot of planes. They just come out on the weekends, really. Our closest neighbor is actually right there, but the neighbor we're usually hanging out with is kind of right over there, I guess, if you guys can see. He built his house from the ground up, as many people have here. A lot of very handy builders. I gotta take you guys to a special little secret spot. Hold on. Susie said, beautiful, hashtag burning sage. Moonchild said, what a view, dude. We are, okay. Yeah, so sorry, the internet might pop in and out because I am wandering a forest. So anyway, so here are the ruins of an ancient sweat lodge. There's one here on the west side, and then we have one over there on the east side. Moonchild says, I have some cousins that moved from Washington State to Arizona. It's pretty there too. All right. So cool. All right. I do apologize that the internet pops in and out, but it's iffy, the reception around here. But I do want to show you guys. But anyway, there's a lot of where you see the sandstone. The sandstone was taken from what would have been the lake down there. It's now dried up, obviously. Um, but that's what they built their homes and structures out of, was sandstone that we have up here. So yeah, we find bits and pieces of their pottery, of their cutting tools, tools that they used to scrape the hides of animals that were caught. There wasn't a whole lot of hunting with what we're learning about the Eastern Anasazi, because it was the Western Anasazi. That's right, we had the Western Anasazi. By the way, this here is known as Mormon's tea, but it's actually ephedra. So, you know, all the stuff that people used to do for weight loss, we have natural ephedra like growing right here. Susie said, no worries. Oh, Lily said, my daughter's birthday was September 12th and my son is on the 26th and mine was August 3rd. Hey, a whole birthday month. Oh my goodness. Peg says, okay, well, I pulled a card for the collective, the Queen of Cups. You're being asked to trust your intuition and pay attention to your feelings and emotions. Lead with your heart, not your head. Good advice. Moonchild said, I thought, ooh, I could have these beautiful green ferny woods, but now I see. Katie says, I can't hear, but I'm enjoying the view. Peg says, be open to receive the intuitive messages flowing to you, be it through your dreams, meditation, or visualization. And Aurora said, first card for the mystical journey, life review. Peg says, feel the feels, even if those feelings are tricky or challenging, you are stronger than you know. Lily says, I'm sorry, I'm a little behind on the live trying to catch up to speed. Hey, no worries. Okay, and that's part of our little homestead over there. So yeah. Wander through here. We have broomgrass and snakeweed, as well as other things that are in like the mugwort family. So you can make teas out of them. And we have our lovely junipers that are making their little juniper berries. Many of those berries are going to be ready to go in the fall. Some of them are already ready, but it's a little too soon. We have some of these very sharp holly bushes that produce little berries as well, and jams, actually. Again, we have our up here, actually, the mule deer like to come up here to graze. So every once in a while, maybe in the morning, we might see a mule deer. Peg says, totally went with Tara's message, don't you think? I think so. Let's see, down there where you see, I think there's like a giant white, it looks kind of white down there. That's actually a giant, massive form of sandstone, and that's actually where I like to go do my yoga sometimes. And when we do have a retreat, I would love to go do yoga. It has like little forested groves that you can go in. And if you go down into the lake bed there, there's actually a wonderful little creek that runs through, and all the oh, Peg's like picturing her running around saying, "Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?" Okay, let's see. I wonder if we should just set up shop here. I think here is a pretty good spot. We have some wonderful little yellow flowers down in here. That's something that I love about fall here in the White Mountains, is that fall is actually like second spring. So we do have a spring, but all the flowers, like all the blooms, it turns a beautiful shade of yellow. So, okay, let's turn back around here. Hey, okay, I'm gonna go get my chair and my things. I will be right back, but in the meantime, you guys can meditate on this wonderful view here. Let me get you guys all situated. Oops. So don't mind me, I'm just fixing the legs of the tripod so that it's balanced here. Okay. We're back, Jack. Okay. Whew. Okay, let's fix this. Some water. Um, Aura says, I know, I'm not blaming her. It's the perfectionist in me annoyed. No big deal. Um, yeah, I know. Sorry. It's just, yeah, can't get too good at internet in the middle of nowhere. Uh, and we figured setting up our Starlink and all of that would just be too expensive for us at the moment because Starlink shot up their prices. Um, so it would be like, I'll just deal with my shoddy internet. Thank you. um, Aurora said, Taurus rising perfectionist. Hey, one of my best friends is a Taurus. Janine said, going everyone. Sorry for being a smacked backside, cannot focus. Hey, no worries. Okay, so now that I have this, okay, what I wanted to do later, if you guys want to, because I like to do the one card draws for the super chats and the super stickers. But I thought it would be fun that for super chats and super stickers, yes, we could do like the one card reading for you guys. You know, where you ask a question and I could pull a card. But it felt like a self care day. Like it was really important to figure out how to care for yourselves today. So all right, Janine, you have a beautiful rest of your day. Have a great week. um, I have this deck. It's called the Self Care Oracle, and I thought pulling a self care card for you would be a lot of fun. So, if anybody wanted to do that, super chat, super stickers, we could just pull like your self care card. But I also wanted to pull a card for us here as a whole on something that we could do to take care of ourselves today, and moving forward as well. Aurora says, I only have 79 cents left. Hey, I understand. No worries. So that's why we are going to pull a collective card here. And Susie sending Jeanine off with tons of love. Mwah! Okay, so let's pull a card for the collective, for all of us here and all of us that will watch and just everybody in general. What is something that we can focus on in our self-care, not only today, but perhaps this week? Especially since we were talking about, for the week, that for some reason it's just getting, amped up, that veil between the worlds, and that it's not just a seasonal thing anymore, that it's here to stay, that that thing that divides, here 4D and 5D and so on and so forth, and 2D, 1D. It's like a Fibonacci sequence, right? It spirals infinitely up and infinitely down. But yeah, that we just go inwards. If we feel scared, if we feel trepidation, just ground ourselves, put up our shields, and then tap into the energy through the heart space, making sure that what you're seeing and feeling is a genuine entity. What I mean by genuine, meaning not a trickster spirit. Sometimes it'll show itself as somebody we know and love, but it's not really. So that's why I'm always like, your heart knows the truth. That's why we're going through the heart space. That's why we put up our energetic shields. Okay. All right. So this was the card for everybody as far as self care goes. Um, let's see. Katie has said, still digitally frozen, no fluid sound. Really? Interesting. Is everybody still seeing this chat okay? You guys still hearing me okay? Because on my end, it's showing that it's going. So hopefully. Aurora said, next card from the Sacred Forest, Bluebell Fairy with gratitude. Aurora, what's cool is because we live right next to a bluebell lane. It's literally near where we live. Susie says, I need to set boundaries for sure. Aurora says, I can barely see you, but I can hear fine. Okay. All right. Michelle says, you're back now. And Lily says, I hear you okay. All right. Okay, well, we're here. Okay, so on here it said set boundaries. Setting boundaries in your life is a great way to put yourself first. And that's good to note because I think that oftentimes, I don't know, maybe it's a family thing, society thing, but we're taught that we shouldn't really have boundaries. That if somebody is imposing their will onto you, like, I need you to help me out, I need you to do this for me. And let's say you don't have time to help this person, but you feel guilty about it. This person is kind of like pushing you towards it and kind of almost pressuring you into it. So then we end up doing the thing, even though we might be exhausted, we don't have time, and all these things. They push past our boundaries. Other times, we do things that um, feel uncomfortable, not uncomfortable like where I just don't want to get out of my comfort zone, but uncomfortable where it really would be imposing on your free will, your energy, your time, and things like that in favor of somebody else because they told you to. Where if maybe we ran it through our higher self, like, is this something I should be working on right now? And maybe it is. Maybe I do feel really drained, but I know that if I go help this person out, we're actually going to raise the vibes and we're going to have a lot of fun. So really it's just, we have those boundaries up, but we also tap in and just like, is this good for me right now? And we have to be okay with telling people, hey, now is not a really good time, but I would love to help you in the future if you still need my help. Maybe I can't help you today. If somebody says, hey, maybe it could be a sound or a song. All right. Okay. I'm back. I'm going to be here on the ground. Um, I just think here is like a little bit better, I think, for all of us and our internetal sanity. uh, let's see. Let's go back here. Aurora said, WTF, that's crazy. You live near the street name on the card. I know, right? And we do have some bluebells that actually do grow here. That's probably why they call it Bluebell Lane, but that's so cool. Sue says, I needed to hear this today, Tara. Thank you. Aurora's like, refresh number 7. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, you guys. I wish I had control the internet. I don't. Lulu says she caught me on a loop. We're all going out for Lulu says another loop, a sound or a song. Aurora, no, I understand. I know it can get frustrating. I just trust me, I'm frustrated too. But I'm just trying to like, come on, let's just be stable here. Let's be stable, interwebs. All right. Oh, speaking of webs, there's an awesome spider web like right above my head there. That's pretty cool. Thanks, Susie. So, okay, actually, you know what? since we're having all these internet troubles, I want to go into it. This is a good time to pull a card. Like, why? Why are we having all of these internet troubles? Sometimes, you know, it is a good time to start going inwards and pulling some cards. Like, if you find that you just like are really being blocked in something, maybe we have to figure out why. Like, why am I being blocked from having like a fluid live chat with you guys? Is there a message for me? Is it a message for you guys? Let's see. So I have the Saki Saki Tarot right here. So let's go ahead and pull some cards on that then. Katia says, in the future, I think I'd prefer sound over sound and video if internet gods will not allow both. Yeah, I know, right? Okay. So let's pull a card though. Why the issues with the internet? Let's see. Because some days I'd say are worse than others. Michelle says my phone is also being weird and is overheating. Interesting. Speaking of overheating, let's bring you guys in a little bit. Um, I'm just sitting here on the rocks. Doot, doot. Just, try to not get that rock in my little butt cheek there. Okay. So why the issues with the internet? Why the issues with the internet? Let's pull a couple of cards. Let's see. Okay. We have the Eight of Rods and we have the Ten of Cups. Lily said, yeah, the message for me is to put the phone down and stop procrastinating. Aurora says, I got resistance and connection. Whoa. Interesting. Okay. Okay. And by the way, I just realized you guys could see like all the trees and all the clouds in my sunglasses. I'm like, okay. So let's dive into this Eight of Wands and Ten of Cups. Okay. Interesting. All right. So it's saying that it's a kind of collective energy that's out there right now. You know, it's in, which means it's in my energy, it's in all of our energies at the moment, and it's a very frantic energy of like, oh, like maybe I should go get this done right now, like, oh, but let me just like go check this thing, on my phone real quick, and let me do this. So it's like little like hummingbirds, like I got to go here and there and here and there, but also our mind, it seems like a lot of our mind is like doot 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 all over the place. So good to know. Maybe now's a good time for me to do like a little grounding with you guys, so I can ground my own energy and we can all ground our energies too. So, yeah, for some reason, I guess we're all in frantic mode. But that's interesting because we just came off of the new moon in Virgo. And Virgo is all about like getting shit done, right? So it's like all about like, I want to start this project now and I want to get this done. I want to finally get this done, which is probably why we were working on the stove and all of that. So, and just trying to like get everything ready for winter and all that goodness. Um, Aurora's like, let me try a different deck. Katia says, does it have anything to do with the thinning of the veil? And that could be it too. Like what we said for the week ahead reading is with the veil becoming thin, if we're starting to feel like maybe on an energetic level, even if we're not really consciously aware of it, maybe it is that we are feeling all those other energies that are becoming more, I would say, solid in our sphere. Where, like, if I sit next to this tree, I can feel the energy of the tree, right? But let's say that tree was residing in 4D. I still feel the energy of the tree, even if I can't physically see it. And I may not know why I feel a particular way. So it could be like that, what's going on. Definitely we're feeling all these energies, which means we're feeling all the energies of ourselves. We have fragments of ourselves. There's my past selves, there's my future selves, there's my present self and all the timelines, the infinite timelines of my present self. Like, good lordy, that's a lot of energy there. So I would say that it is, yeah, a little, little, frantic there. Um, Amanisha said, "Sorry, Tara, I know I can't support this topic when I've dealt with things that have their boundaries taken by force." Mm. Aurora said, "From Water Temple, I got Goddess Aphrodite with Blossom. I blossom with love and Holy Wells of Ireland with alchemy. I harness my magic." Aurora, or Caitlin, do you know what? Okay, this morning, before I, hold on so you guys can see, before I busted out my triquetra today, I was going to wear my chalice well necklace, the magical wells in England. I was like going to wear that, and I was like, oh no, I'll just wear my triquetra today. So it was very interesting. Aurora said, bottom line, too many light workers. Oh my goodness. Katie says, love and healing Amanisha. Yes, definitely sending Amanisha and all of our friends that are needing a little extra boost, at this time. Aurora said, yeah, but not with the internet, Lily. It can't handle us. I know. We cannot be contained. All right. So, like I said, let's go ahead and let's do a little grounding, you guys. So, all this crazy, chaotic energy, I know that our thoughts are zipping here and there, and all of the things that we want to do, all the things that we want to get accomplished before the changing of season. And perhaps we're feeling a lot of the energy of our animal kin and all the things that I've learned from the plants and the animals around here, where the juniper and the pinyon pines are starting to bring their sap and their resin back inside. So lowering it down back into their roots, um, where that usually in the summertime, if you were to cut one of these trees, you would notice that they have an excess of what seems like sap. And it's because their veins are alive with it at the moment. And right now they are calling it back down into their roots to having more, getting ready for a quieter moment in time. A quieter season is approaching. And all of our animal kin, especially like Miss Squirrel, she's running around. She doesn't have too much time to say hello to me, but that's because she's getting everything ready for, again, the cooler months. She knows that she's not going to be as active during winter time. She's not going to have a whole lot of time to leave her home. So everything that she stores inside her many homes that she has around here, um, that's going to have to sustain her for the whole winter season, depending on how long it lasts. And hopefully, she is calculated correctly. That's what she says. And that's what a lot of the animals are here saying, that this is a time of being really busy. So there's a lot of animals out. We have the deer, the jackrabbits, the snakes, the lizards. Everybody's out right now. The vultures, the eagles, and it's because they are getting ready for that change. They know that this is kind of like the last hurrah for now, of being out in the sunshine. It's still being quite warm, being able to get all the things they need, all the plants that are still flowering, everything that's still abundant and flourishing before it's time to go inwards, before it's time for um, reflection and being at home and looking within. And so, as we just kind of ground ourselves today, we just keep in mind that this energy that we're feeling is more of an energy that we need to understand instead of an energy that we need to block and control. I think oftentimes as humans that when we encounter like an energy that we feel is like, oh, that's a bad energy, or I shouldn't be in that energy, but we haven't asked ourselves why. Why are we in this energy? Where is it actually coming from? And I think that when we can understand that, where it's actually stemming from, we get a better understanding of ourselves, our mission moving forward. Perhaps it's a good message to help aid us, in this journey. And so right now, it was good that we sat and we tapped in. Like, why? Why is the internet trying to catch our attention? Because right now, that's how our world works, right? We're so used to the internet. We're so used to it always being there, and so the internet has to go down to give us a message, because that's like a, wait, something's not working. Wait, we're getting frustrated. Now we have feelings of frustration. So then we go into that. We pull some cards, or you go into your intuition. Um, and when we look and reflect on it, we're like, hey, we're just embodying the energy of everything around here. So why is everything around here embodying that energy? And then we see why. So we are still in tune with harmony, even though out in, cities. Some of us are, right right in the heart of, just concrete and things like that. Some of us are out in the boonies. But that doesn't mean that we can't feel that energy. We are human after all. We are part Terran. We are part of Gaia. We are Gaia. So we are going to feel those energies. Doesn't matter how much concrete we surround ourselves with or how much technology. We're still a part of this beautiful world. And so, and not to, I would say, look at those things as a bad thing. There's always things that we can learn. Why we've decided to live certain places. Sometimes it's just maybe we need some light workers in this area. Maybe we need some light workers in the city. Maybe we need some light workers in the suburbs. So we all live different places for different reasons, and it's just kind of good to like tap in, see what's my mission here? How come I'm here? How can I help here? You know? So I'm feeling a lot more grounded actually, as I'm just like, I was like trying to do like the trees do. I'm taking all my energy and I'm just trying to push it down into my roots as if I had all my sap and resin in my body. I'm just like trying to push it down into my roots, push it back down. I don't know. They've done a number in the sky too, so it's a little iffy internet wise with that. But anywho, let's go back here. Peg says, "How in sync am I? I got the Five of Clubs, don't have tarot, but converts to the Five of Wands, is a tarot card that represents conflict, disagreements, competition, tension, and diversity. The card does not represent major blockages, but many small, irritating ones." Whoa. When Child's like, wow, Peg. I know, dude, that's so cool. Like, and oftentimes I think it's a good thing when we tap in and we see like why like why am I having so many conflicts lately, maybe like like you're saying, like not so many large things but a lot of little things. And perhaps this week, maybe if we feel this, running into a lot of like foods and things like that, maybe with the thinning of the veil we can call in other representations of ourselves, other timelines of ourselves, our ancestors, our friends and family and fur babies and everybody's that's in spirit. Maybe this is like a really good time to really bring them in and be like, hey, I'm having a little problem here. Can you tell me why, first of all? Is there something I'm supposed to learn here? Am I actually supposed to be doing this thing in the first place? Or is there a better way for me to be doing this? And I'm sure they'd be happy to show you how, especially other versions of yourself. And that's what James and I have been doing lately. Like every once in a while, I think twice now, I've run into future timeline versions of ourselves. And it's very interesting when I talk to future me and James talks to future him. And I'm like, okay, what's your timeline look like at the moment? They'll describe everything that's going on in that timeline. Let's say 4 months down the road. And I'm like, that doesn't really seem like the timeline that I want to be on. Am I on that timeline right now? It's like, yeah, you're on that timeline. I'm like, okay, so how could I shift my timeline to something that's more in alignment with me? Let's say I want to get to here. How can I put my energy, move it differently or make different choices so I can wind up in this different timeline? And my other versions of me are like, oh, okay, like here, just do this. So that could be something too, with this week, with things just becoming much more thin, is talking to the other timelines of you. Like maybe you want to be on a timeline where this other thing for you does exist. Maybe I want to be on a timeline where my car is working well, or whatever it is, our issues or conflicts. Maybe I want to be on this particular timeline, but we also have to understand why we're on the timeline that we're on. How many times can I say the word timeline? But yeah, we have to just kind of figure out, why am I on this particular timeline? What has led me here? What could I learn from this? If it doesn't feel good to me, then why have I put myself in this particular timeline? So that I know that either I can make different decisions or I can heal my energy in a certain way, that I don't continue on this path. Perhaps I want something else, and so this might be a good time to call in your future self, I would say. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Like, let me give you an example. Let's say, actually, let's call in future me. I wonder how far into the future I want to go. Let's go to Halloween, Samhain. Yeah, let's go to the 30th or the 20. let's go to the 27th through, most people celebrate all the different things till like November 2nd or 3rd. So that will take us through Samhain, Dia de los Muertos, Halloween. Plus, I know that there's other cultures celebrating things towards the end of that month. So let's go down there. I want to tap into my future self. And so, how we do that is same thing. When you guys go into meditation, you go into your heart space, just set the intention. I want to talk to myself that's on the timeline that I'm on. And then you state a specific parameter, like I want to be 4 months ahead of time, or 2 months, or 1 week, 2 hours, even. Um, and you could either listen to what yourself has to say in meditation, or you can pull cards if you wish. For now, I think I'm going to pull cards just so I don't go into a huge, deep meditation while I'm like on camera with you guys, because you're just going to be staring at me, which like looks like I'm asleep, but I'm not, you know. Okay, so future me, I want to ask, in this current timeline, what is happening for James and I? What is the main standout of what we're doing? What main thing are we working on during the end of October, beginning of November? What is the main thing we're working on? This current timeline, this current timeline, this current timeline, this current timeline. Okay. All right. Marissa, next card from the Sacred Forest. Water spirit with manifesting dreams. Dana, hey, how are you? Dana says, love your sunglasses. Well, thank you. Okay, so let's see what myself had to say. This is the end of October, beginning of November. So taking us into Dia de los Muertos, basically. We have the Page of Swords. We have the Chariot. And we have the Eight of Cups. Interesting, interesting. Okay, let's dive into this one. Oh, oh, okay. All right, all right. You know, James and I asked to be on the fast train to losing the ego. Of course, we're not there yet, obviously, but um, so it seems like whatever for James and I, this is just for James and I, what is occurring in our timeline um, at that moment in time, end of October, beginning of November, is where our ego is going to be hit with something that it doesn't quite understand. That we're going to be faced with some choice about our reality. We could continue down a path that is comfortable for our ego because it understands it, because it utilizes the 3D world to continue down that path. Or we're going to have to tell our ego, no, 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 thank you, and go with what our higher self is saying. But it's going to freak our ego out to such a degree that it's going to feel like we're losing our mind. So, but it's a huge opportunity for release that we're going to have for ourselves. So it's like a next boom, like a next step for us, for both of us, where we do get to have that conscious and subconscious choice. Hey, do you want to continue down this matrix timeline, where possibly you might get a little frustrated, like let's say with money, we're not rich. I mean, we are rich and wealthy in like life and like where we live. I'd say we're pretty abundant, but as far as like what the matrix says, like paper money, no, 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 no. We're like below poverty level. And that was kind of funny. Actually, I was just thinking about this yesterday, and I was thinking about like money as an energy. And like, even though if I were to look at my bank account right now, and I was, let's see, if this were 20 years ago and I looked at that bank account, I would have a freak out. I'd be like, oh my God, I am so poor. I would probably be crying. I'd probably be like, why is the world so difficult? Why is it always working against me? Which means I would always keep putting that energy out of, yes, please work against me so I can continue to have this type of energy. Um, but yeah, I would be trying to find different ways to make more money. I mean, which means I would be at all these different jobs that I wouldn't necessarily like, but it's just like to make some cash, because I know that I would have to pay rent and I would have a car payment at the time and, all these things. So I would be quite sad. Today, 20 years later, I look at that bank account and I laughed. Actually, I was just like, because that number means nothing to me anymore, really. In fact, and I know that this is just for James and I know it's not, I'm not speaking for everybody. I know everybody's got, you guys are all different, you're doing different things in your lives. But for James and I, we know we're going to be going down to zero soon this year, meaning we're going to have $0 in our to our names, both of our names. And my ego is a little nervous about it, but my higher self is like, hell yeah. Like, let's cut that system. Because I already have a place to live. I already know how to forage in this forest. I know how to eat here while I learn how to grow my own food. And I know it's going to take until like March until I see some of the results of that food. So in the meantime, I do know how to eat around here. I do know how to talk to my neighbors, and we do know how to barter already up here. I do know how to build things. I do know how to work on my car. And if I can't afford gasoline anymore, I have a bicycle. Like, I'll just walk, you know? And who knows, maybe one of the wild horses around here wouldn't mind giving me a ride or not. Or maybe the horse will just show me the way, but I know that I'm going to be okay. And so I feel like that's part of what is coming up for us at that time, is that maybe it's because we do get down to zero. Maybe we do get really close to zero, and my ego has a freak out and it starts like, oh my gosh, how are we going to eat? How are we going to do this? How am I ever going to see my family again? How am I ever going to pay my cell phone bill? How am I going to know that my ego is going to freak out? But I know that my higher self is a lot louder and more vocal than it was 20 years ago. Before 20 years ago, my higher self's like, hey, Tara, hey, maybe you should look over here. And I'm like, no, that makes no sense to me. You're crazy, And the higher self's like, no, 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 no. Really, I got it all figured out. Come on, come over here. And I'm just like, shh, no. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Let's go back to what you guys are saying here. Um, Aurora said, so spring and summer next year are huge. So I've been hearing, especially starting off with spring next year. Peg said, OMG. So I did what you suggested and 3 cards flew out. I said, whoa, that's too many to translate. And you pulled 3. One of diamonds and pentacles, or sorry, Jack of diamonds and pentacles, 8 of wands, 2 of hearts and cups. Whoa. Aurora said, next card from the water temple, Tibetan Buddhist monk with mindfulness. Listen to the wisdom of my heart. The holy wells of Ireland came up again as well. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, Ascension Waves, what up? How are you? Says, yes, that's courageous. And yes, it hits with all the insecurities. Yeah, like I said, I'm to a degree, I'm ready for it. I mean, it was my higher self that brought me out here. My ego, to be honest, was scared shitless, because I was giving up a lot of what I've been told is success and good, in the 3D world. I've been told that was good for me. In my body, it didn't feel good for me. I was sad. I was depressed. Um, I hid it really well, which is not a good thing. I'm not bragging. We really shouldn't hide our feelings. We should be listening to them because that's how we communicate with ourselves. Um, and then one day it just got so loud. My higher self's voice just became so loud. I couldn't take it anymore. And it was like, you know what? My ego, you're just gonna have to take the hit. You're just gonna have to be scared and sit there and cry and whatnot, whatever you gotta do, because I gotta listen to this higher self. I have been listening to my ego this whole time. And sure, I did all the things that I was told to do, that I was supposed to do. I went off to college. I went and I became a teacher. And I was grateful for the times that, everything that I learned in college, all the people that I met. Hey, Blue Jay. Um, exactly, communication. I learned communication, better communication in college. And as a teacher, actually, I learned more, I think, as a teacher than I taught my kids because I learned how to help communicate with different learning abilities. I learned to communicate with different people. I learned to have fun, while learning. All the kids taught me tons of things. I'm grateful for every student I've ever had in my classroom, and that was wonderful. But at the same time, it was the structure that it was in. It wasn't just having fun with children, but I'm in a 3D structure. I'm in a matrix structure that says your students have to learn this because this has been brought down from high up and high up and high up. And I just wasn't, I really didn't feel good about that anymore. And I was like, I gotta get out of here, And it wasn't just that, it was my whole life. I needed a whole like upending of my life, which means I had to start figuring out who I am again because I've been told who I am, as I know many, people on earth have been told who they are through school. School tells you who you are, your parents tell you who you are, society tells you who you are, your friends tell you who you are, and you surround yourself with the friends based on who you think you are. And I needed I needed a refresh. And so I came out here to Arizona, and this part of Arizona, I feel just the energy here helps us to face our ego. It helps us to face our traumas and our shadows, and it doesn't let us hide. It doesn't let me do what I used to do when I was in San Diego, which is I'll just put on this different face and I'll pretend these feelings I'm having don't exist. Up here, you can't hide from anything. Up here, it's like boom in your face. Are you going to heal this? Or are you going to run away? Because everybody who stays here has to face those shadows and they either heal or they run away. There is no in between. I'm like, we're going to heal, baby. We're going to do this because I know that I have things to offer the world. I want to help in any way I can, whether I'm here on YouTube and doing live chats and bringing people together, whether I'm doing readings or channelings for people, whether I'm just going over to my neighbor's house and holding the ladder for him. Like, I want to help. I've got a good strong back. I can physically help people. I consider myself somewhat sharp. I can help people that way too. I feel that sometimes I'm a pretty good communicator. I can help in that way. Um, so yeah, how I got off on that tangent, I don't know, but I'm just saying that, oh yeah, it was with this 8 of Cups here that, maybe it is another, like, one of those things that James and I will come across where it's like another layer that we're having to let go, where we have defined ourselves a particular way, and maybe, that way isn't actually truly us, maybe it's just, a facade that the ego has, and we got to dive into that heart space, and we're like, okay, maybe the ego's going to go kicking and screaming, but again, I have to follow my heart. I have to follow my higher self. So I don't think that this is like us losing completely our egos, but definitely another ego check, like check check, you're not in charge, bro. um okay, so let's go back here. Ascension said, I am great and happy I could catch up with you. And yes, it feels that we have to be the avatar we are in here, not only on the spirit realm. And Dana said, I can so relate when I let my job, my ego was like, no. Katie said, oh my gosh, I just counseled one of my clients on this exact thing this morning. Synchronicity. Aurora says, I don't know why, but Ava Max's Sweet But Psycho is going through my head. Interesting. Peg said the Jack of Diamonds is a tarot card that represents a messenger who will bring important news. It is also a sign that you will be dealing with an intelligent man who is very untrustworthy. Ooh, interesting. Shields up. Says that's where I am at now, on the edge of an upending, says Katie S. Worker. Susie says, Tara, you are amazing. Aw, thank you. Ascension says, I've been called to go to countries with disasters and difficulties, and all family is freaking out. But well, inner shadows and community ones. Dana says, Tara, if you've helped me so much with your wisdom, perspective, and beautiful insight, thank you for touching my life and my heart. Thank you. And by the way, you guys, when I'm in the middle of still doing some journaling, but Dana and I got together. the other day, and she did some integrative hypnosis with me, and I would consider that kind of like a guided backpack method. And I didn't come up with the backpack method, but basically, it's these three giant spheres in the backpack, and you look into the sphere, and whatever your soul says needs to come up for you comes up for you. And you go into it, you heal it, you go into the perspective of each individual person that was in that situation. You see it from their perspective, you get them healing, you heal yourself, everybody forgives, everybody shows gratitude so that you can release that energy and not only heal yourself, but you send healing to all the people that were in that situation. And so to see, like, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is kind of like the backpack method, but it's guided. And I think it's really helpful to not only help people get into a really relaxed state, but to get you into a comfortable space, which Dana is, you just feel comfortable around her. Dana has a wonderful voice, and she's really good at because I'm like partially there during the hypnosis. It's actually just like channeling. Actually, it is like 100% like channeling for me at least, where my ego is there kind of paying attention a little bit, but all my higher self is the one coming through. The energies that Dana had me look into, like my mother, my father, their actual ego energies were there. And there's just so much healing, like so much like um, I have a tendency, which I'm working on, I do have a tendency to hide some of my emotions sometimes. And in that session, because I'm in a channeling state, and she's guiding me through it, and she's like pinpointing, because she's very intuitive herself, and she can be like, whoa, this is an area we need to go in. Whoa, we got to look at what this person is doing. Why, and just making these connections. She's very good at it. Um, and I can't hide those emotions when I'm in that state. They just come out. And it's a good thing, because now when I'm journaling and as I'm still reflecting on it, which is it's taken me a little while to integrate all this stuff, um, is I have to ask myself why those certain emotions I decided to hide them, why I hid those certain memories, why I decided they were too difficult to deal with. But a lot of healing was done from it. So I thank you, Dana, so freaking much. And when Dana decides to actually offer that as a service, to do her integrative hypnosis, um, you guys, she's going to help a lot of people. Seriously, she will. She already is helping a lot of people. And I think a lot of people can really benefit from it because of its guided nature, because you feel safe and you have somebody taking you by the hand basically every step of the way. Like, here we go, here we go, here we go. And you just feel, afterwards, I felt a little floaty, but I finally grounded. And yeah, I have a lot to reflect on, and it's been amazing. um, let's see. Let's go back here. Mm, Aurora said, "Same, Tara. I always try to help, maybe too much because people hate me for it." I don't think so. James posted something once where there are things that we try to do when we try to help people. We may say something that actually, our higher self can see, or we can see that they can't see. And because it triggers a certain shadow or whatever it may be, some people just aren't ready to hear that, see that, take our advice. And so it's kind of like a shoot the messenger, right? When really that's not it. I mean, it may feel like that's where their frustration or anger is directed, but really it's just that person is working through what has been said and why that made them upset or uncomfortable. And I think that's the best thing. James is actually really good at triggering people, and it's not a bad thing. He's helping people to see their shadows, see their trauma so they can grow. That's all he really wants. He's like, the only reason I trigger people, which is not really on purpose, he just kind of does it. He's like, I just want to see people grow. I don't want to see people locked in by their traumas. I don't want to see people, being held captive or prisoner by their ego or their past. He goes, I want to see people's light. I want people to shine. And it's so hard to do that. He's like, when there's so much weighing us down. And so, yeah, that's my twin flame over there. um, let's see. Katie said, tangent necessary. Peg said, it was lovely to meet you all. I subscribed and hit that notification bell. Thank you, Peg. Dana said, "It was so powerful to witness. Thank you for allowing me to facilitate this session for you. Definitely. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Dana." Aurora said, "I have a question, but I'm not going to even try to donate my 79 cents. It's an insult." Hey, no worries. Um, Aurora, you know what you could do? Um, if you're pretty good, I know that you like to do art and things like that. If you wanted to do like in a little exchange for a question for like some poetry or some art, I'm all about that. So if you'd like to do that, like just like draw something, take a picture, send it to me or something like that, like DM, not send it to me like through the mail, but like a DM picture, I think, yeah, I think we could do a little exchange that way. John said, learning hypnosis helped me go into meditation faster and learn to step my ego to the side while channeling. Very nice. Susan says, I'll definitely be a client, Dana. Dana says, I'm beyond grateful for you. You've helped me so much to open my voice. I just love you so much. I love you too, girl. John says, I'm happy she's using it to help people. Aw. And Dana said, thank you so much, everyone. Whenever you're ready, Susie, she says. And Aurora said, very true. She says, yes, I can do like Angela does here if you want. Yeah, sure. Heck yeah, Aurora. Yeah, get your poetry on, get some creative writing on, and let me know your question, and I'll pull a card for you. And actually, do you want me to pull a self care card, or we could do just a saki tarot, like a regular, like you ask a question, I pull a card. We could do that too. In the meantime, let me readjust my buttocks here. Oh, it's got those little ants down there. Interesting. Susan says, I'm so excited. I'll be in contact, Dana, very soon. Arissa, let me see if I get something. Hold on. Sure, sure. No worries. So, yeah, I kind of just wanted to leave today's live chat kind of open ended, um, which is partially why I didn't do the poll that I usually do, the YouTube poll, like what our theme was. It just kind of felt like today needed to be open, so for whatever it is that you guys wanted to talk about, kind of whatever came up. Um, and I think that that's a good thing, especially with like our internet was getting crazy for a moment, and it seems like it's settled down now. Once we tapped into it, once we looked into the reason behind it, lo and behold, the internet like does better. Not saying it's perfect right now, but it does better. Um, so yeah. Yeah, things like that. I think it would have been harder to, like, pull cards and be like, "Oh, like, I wonder why the internet is so crappy right now." I think because if we had a focus and we were trying to, like, actually, like, do the thing that we are trying to do, I'd be so focused and so frustrated just trying to get that done, um, that I probably wouldn't have, like, dived into, like, why are we having the internet issues? So, yeah. Let's see. Oh, Dana! Dana says a message for me in the month of October. Sure. Okay. One child says, love the flexibility and coming together. All right. So, Dana, let's look here. A message for the month of October. And I think, it's not too bright. I think I could take my sunnies off now. Okay. Interesting. Um, Dana, so as I was trying to tap into your energy, I kept seeing like trying to move it forward like to October, and I just see Mateo, and it's like he says, what is it that he says? Hold on. It's it's something that he says. He sounds like almost like an adult. Like it's very short, it's very brief, but it's like an adult speaking to you, the other adult. Um, and it catches you off guard. Because obviously it sounds like your son, but it sounds like a much older version of your son, like as if he were in his 20s and not just a toddler. um, and so it feels like he needs to hit you with that message to catch you off guard, to kind of shake up your energy a little bit so that you open up your perspective of the world even wider and like how the world works. Because again, you're going through another um, form of leveling up and kind of leaving the old you behind. But it's Mateo that facilitates it, at least at his higher self level. But yeah, he does, he says something and it won't show me what he's actually saying, which is frustrating, but it's showing me your energy of you going like, "Oh my god. Like, what did you say, sweetie? Like, what did you say?" And he doesn't really repeat it, but you're just like a lot to contemplate, a lot to think about. Like that just came from your little boy who's very little. So interesting. But yeah, I'll pull a card too for confirmation. But Dana says the eclipses feel like it's gonna be like pow. And Aurora's got her poem. Flower petals on the floor. Does he love me anymore? The siren sings her song of love. Is it stronger than ours? Nevermore. Wow. Thank you. Katia says, how do we contact or see services by Dana? Susie did put a little something there. If you want to see Dana's Instagram handle, you can contact her there. Aurora said, OMG, I think that just answered my question right there. Dana said, feeling another ego death process right now. Thank you so much. Moonchild says, wow, what a tree behind you, Tara. The trunk, what a story that tree could tell. Dude, I love to like grab onto these trees and just like listen. Like what do you have to tell? Because they have a lot to say. This forest is very chatty. Okay, so Dana, let's pull that card there. Oh, right on, girlfriend. We got the Six of Swords. Looks like it is another ego death. But this time coming from your son for your highest good, from his higher self. Um, again, to shake things up. Um, so it is going to be very, very healing, but it helps to open your eyes even more so that you have more clarity. Because I know that's usually what we seek, right? Is I need clarity. I need clarity. Like what is happening? I need clarity. What's going on like tomorrow, a week from now. And the way we get that clarity is when our world gets kind of shook up a little bit and our perspective expands and then we're like, whoa, okay, so that now is in my peripheral that wasn't there before. um okay, so Aurora, did you want me to pull you a card, or you said that your question got answered? Susie said, sorry, I'm having typing issues, I'll get this right. Hey, no worries. Aren't we a bunch of retrogrades communicatively speaking? Whoa, did you guys hear that? That was thunder. Okay, Aurora says, how can I prove to S I only see M as a friend? All right, let's do this. What is happening right now? There are some strange noises happening right now. We had a big, long, rolling thunder. Either that's a wolf or somebody's yelling. I don't know. I can see the cows. Like, what is happening? Like, what is happening? Okay, so how can we prove to S that you only see M as a friend? Aurora, you know what popped into my head? That song. It says, you got what I need, but you say he's just a friend. You say he's just a friend. Oh, baby, you. Oh my gosh, I love that song. Anyway, that's what popped in there. It's kind of hilarious. Okay. Okay, so we have here the Ace of Coins. Aurora said S and M are married. Okay, we have the Six of Cups and we have the Chariot. Um, let's see. Let me go back here. Okay, so let's take a look. Aurora says, but M was my husband in a past life. Okay, I gotcha. Okay, so let's go into this. Okay, so it looks like having really addressing the issue with the person with S, um, and just walking it through it. Obviously you being very honest, like I know that you say you're like I only see this person as a friend, um, but addressing S. What about my hanging out or whatever it is you do with M? I don't know if you guys go for coffee or whatnot, but what about that friendship is disturbing to you? What about that friendship feels uncomfortable? Where are you feeling it? But being genuine, not in an attacking mode, but just genuine, like I want to know so that I can help, so that I can, you know, um, show you that I'm trying to be respectful. I'm respectful of your relationship and that. So asking us why uh, where do you feel threatened in our friendship? What about it doesn't look like a friendship to you? And let's say the person says, oh, the fact that you spend so much time with M. Okay, understandable. So in your marriage, S to M, in your marriage, do you feel that you don't get to spend enough time with this person? And so if this person doesn't feel like they don't get to spend a whole lot of time, then when somebody else does spend a lot of time with them, it could feel very threatening. So then you're like, ah, okay, I understand. But it could be something like that. So just asking, like, why does it feel threatening? What aspect of it, so I can understand and so that I'm clear. Because we could tell people all day, I'm just a friend with this person, I'm just a friend. But that doesn't really say, like, it doesn't tell the other person, like, it's not too clear, the communication really. But if they can articulate, I'm feeling threatened or I feel uncomfortable because, then you can address that. Oh, it's because of this. Okay, so then let's look into that. Why are you feeling that way? Why does that feel, upsetting to you? And perhaps we can remedy this between you, S and M. Maybe I can help you with that. And so then when the person feels like you are there to work with them, you're a friend of theirs, you're on their side. Um, there I feel like the walls come down because now there's a lot more flow with communication. It's like, okay, so it's not just words being spoken. It's this person genuinely wants to help me in my marriage. And yeah, that this is no longer an enemy. This is no longer somebody that I have beef with. This is somebody who's here to help us. So, yeah. All right. So just deepen that communication, just really going as if you were trying to help that person with their shadows, not going too deep into it, but just um, showing that perhaps the energy or the feeling that they're getting is really misdirected. They feel like maybe it's you that they're angry at when really perhaps it's a situation, or maybe they don't get to spend a whole lot of time with their person. So, yeah. Aurora, you're very welcome. Dana was saying, thank you for sharing her socials. Um, Aurora said S is in a triple Taurus. A lot of Taurus coming up today. That'll be difficult to try and talk. They've been together for 18 years. Um, if you can get the Taurus into a really comfortable state, maybe something to munch on while you guys are talking. Um, Aurora says, I'll really try. Okay. Okay. Good, 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 good. Um, all right. Diamond said, is there a true wholesale meant to be? Gentleman opening up his heart and wanting to be involved and develop a happy relationship with me. Soon have someone I met. His first initial is J. He is a teacher. All right. So we'll take a look into that. So let me just take a look at your question again. Diamond is there. Okay, I got what you're saying. Okay, so is Jay gonna be ready for like this, like open his heart up to you, maybe have a relationship, maybe develop something, somebody that you've met? Uh, oh, Lily. Did I miss you, Lily? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Lily, I'm so sorry. I missed you. Let me go back here. Yeah, Lily, we will get to you right now. And then Diamond, we'll get to your question. My apologies. Okay, Lily said, having trouble starting new habits, overcoming my obstacles and blocks, which is me. I feel stuck. I have ideas and thoughts, just having issues moving forward. Okay. Okay, so you have all this stuff up in your head, you're ready to go, but it's the getting started. Okay, so let's take a look here. Okay, first thing to come forward, Lily, was that like I was feeling as if I was you, and I have all these ideas, but the thought subconsciously, the thought of putting those ideas into action scared me because and as if I was you. I was worried that if I tried to do what I set out to do, I might fail. That it may not be as wonderful it is as it is in my mind. That sometimes we may feel that our dreams and our ideas and the things that we want to do are just so much more beautiful and perfect because we can control them in our mind. But when we put it out into the world, we have less control over it. We don't know what's going to happen, or at least the ego has less control over it, doesn't know what's going to happen. And truly, we don't know. We just have to follow our intuition. And so, your intuition, I do believe, has all these wonderful ideas for you, but it's the ego who is so scared, so worried, saying, yeah, but what if I fail? What if it's not going to be like the way I have it going in my mind? What if I end up not liking it? And that's okay. So let's see how we can overcome that. How can we get the ego to just take a little hush ski? um, because we can see what it's trying to do. It's trying to help you out. The ego knows how the 3D world works. It knows your past, and that's all it knows, really. It just knows your past. Um, and it says, well, based on the past and based on what I've done in the past, it would just be in Lily's uh, best interest to just leave those thoughts as thoughts. The higher self obviously has different motivation for you. It wants you to create something, it wants you to bring something out into the world to show you that it's when we don't have control of things that we can really let true magic in. That things that you didn't even know possible, opportunities that you didn't know were even there, happen because we put a trust. We trust in our higher self. We put that thing out there, and then it's like, let's see what happens. Now, that's really scary to our ego because it needs to know each and every mind step and detail, and it needs to know the outcome of everything. But that's just not possible, really, especially when we're trying to create a better life for ourselves, or we're trying to, create wonderful opportunities. So, in comes the thunder once again. Okay. Okay. Okay, it seemed like I had to pull out 2 cards for you, but it was the 4 of rods and it was the 3 of swords, and I feel like this is the energy that you're in at the moment. Um, but and this is this is just gonna have to take your free will energy. Pick one of those, ideas that you have, and I want you to go into meditation, drop into your heart space, and let your higher self tell you that, yes, Lily, I want you to do this project. Because sometimes we need a little motivation, we need a little cheering from our higher self. And also knowing that it came from your higher self and not your ego. Your higher self may say, well, I didn't really have that idea, but this is how we can make the idea better. So go with what the higher self is saying. And although you may feel all the blocks telling you, "Oh, I can't do this right now," all the excuses coming up, "Oh, I feel drained. Oh, I just don't have time. Oh, I'm really tired," all the things. When you hear that in your mind, I want you to recognize who that is that's speaking. Would the higher self be telling you, "Oh, I'm too drained. Oh, I'm too tired. I just don't have time. Oh, I forgot." That's not our higher self. That's the ego. And then that's when we don't chastise the ego, but we're saying, "Okay, I understand. I hear you loud and clear. You're telling me all these reasons why I can't do this right now. I hear you. Um, but I want to show you why it's so good and it's going to be beneficial for me, ego, that I go ahead and do this." The ego may quiet down just a little bit, but you're going to have to go ahead and do it anyway and show it. So this is where you're just going to have to muster all all the strength that you have inside of you and do it. Do the thing. And I know that the other part of you is going to be kicking and screaming and being like, "No, no, no, no. This no, it's." You're just going to have to be like, "Look, I'm showing you. I'm showing you right now that this is for my best and highest good." And eventually you're going to finish the thing, whatever project it is that you're working on. And then you let it go. And then again, the ego is going to be like, but what's going to happen? You're like, it's the reason that I don't know what's going to happen that is the exciting thing. That's the four of rods here, that we celebrate that. Get into the mode of celebrating the unknown. I am so excited that I don't know what the opportunities are that are coming in. I'm so excited that I don't know the future of this. I'm excited about it because it's something different. It's something outside of my scope of logic, where I can't calculate, what's going to happen. This is exciting. And you know how they say fake it till you make it, or you're going to have to fake it a little bit, like be like, yeah, this is super exciting, until eventually it really does become a part of your habit. It does become exciting, like doing things. I don't know how they're going to turn out. I don't know, but it's going to be fun. Yeah. So yeah, to take those little steps, yeah, just first meditation, go inwards, pick one thing that you want to work on right now. I know that you have a lot of ideas, but let's pick one for the moment. Ask your higher self if it was on board with that project, have it come help you with it, start to enact it. When you start to hear the ego pop up, that's when you got to be like the loving mother, like, I hear you, I understand where you're coming from. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to sabotage me because you think it's for my best and highest good, but it really isn't. I'm going to show you that the unknown is pretty freaking badass. um, and I have a feeling that there is going to be a lot that will come from that project, but it's mostly inward, where you're going to find a confidence in yourself and the things that you create and the ideas that you have, that they are worthy and that there is true magic that can come from them. But it's just going to take that first baby step, and then you keep doing it every day, just a little something where I don't know what the outcome's going to be, but I'm going to celebrate it. And that's the major part of it, is make sure that you celebrate it, so that you ingrain that into your ego and your higher self, that I am happy with unexpected things. I find joy in it. Okay, sorry, let me just ugh, have to redo my buns here. Okay, sorry, let me just dust myself off. Ooh, ooh, hello, tree. Okay, alrighty. Okay, we're back. All right, let's go back here. And then we have diamond to pull a card for. Let's see. Pegasus, I feel that the tree is saying, "Oh, you're not going to believe me if I told you I was once a young, beautiful tree until this huge giant stepped on me. My whole life split apart." Oh no, my goodness. um, Lily said, yes, self sabotage is one of the issues. Katie has said, again, same thing with my patient this morning. I really could blend medical model with intuition. Yes. Moonchild's like, Peg, and this is where a thunder strike hit. Boom. One child says, it wants a hug and a touch. You got it. I'm holding on right now. Mm, Peg says, yes, it wants to be heard and appreciated. Its roots go deep. Lily said, yes, my procrastination's another issue. But procrastination is the ego. It's saying, "Oh, I procrastinate. Oh, I do this." And it's trying to come up with all the reasons to make you believe that you can't do the thing, you know? So, I got sticks in my hair. I always every time I take a shower, I always got twigs and sticks and berries in my hair. Peg's like, "We do too, sending the tree love." Moonchild said, "Me, to Katie's work at shelter, so many." Okay, so let's get into Diamond's question. Oh, Peg's like a tree just copped a feel. He sure did. Oh my goodness, these trees are cheeky and they steal things. They do. Or the forest, the little elementals of the forest, they like to steal. You'll put something on a tree, leave, come back, it's gone. You know? Okay, so Diamond, let's take a look at Jay. Let's take a look at Jay. As we hear the rumbling of the thunder in the distance. Ooh, we have the Hanged Man. Okay, so what I was getting from Jay's energy is that there was like this curiosity. I don't know if this person's been in like a long-term relationship before or in a marriage or something like that where they're mm, a little hesitant to get into a deep relationship at the moment. But I would say that this person is interested, and it's kind of bringing up a lot of things from the past, not with you, but like past relationships, and those things are coming up because of the interest in you, and the interest in your energy. So I would say this person would like to get to like know you better, would like to maybe be in a light relationship. Light meaning like we're not talking about like wedding bells and things like that just yet, but I think that this is somebody that you could definitely help talk them through some of their old traumas and shadows, just like we were talking about with like Caitlin with Aurora, helping out her two married friends, and talking to them, communicating with them. I think that you would be really good at communicating with this person, Jay. Um, like, what was your last major relationship like? You know, what was it that attracted you to this person? You know, to have these conversations because it's an open and adult relationship, right? You're like, I want to know you at a deeper level instead of like, what's your favorite coffee? Like, what's your favorite color? Like, you want to get deeper with this person, and that's also how you show like, hey, I'm here to help. I'm here to create a deeper type of relationship. Like, I'm somebody who wants to go in it. You know, I want to be in it. I want to go to the deeper levels of two people being together, just beyond us going to the movies or going out for drinks and things like that. So it's, you know, what was the last major relationship that stands out in your mind? What was that like? What drew you to your partner? What was it that helped you to stay with this person? What was it that created an ending to the relationship? How did that make you feel? And then you know, express, you know, on your side as well, that you're not just the sitting psychiatrist, but you're like, you know, well, this is what happened with me, and these are some of the things that I learned. Um, so you could say like, moving forward, I feel like I am ready for, you know, just being very honest. I feel like I am ready for a relationship because these are the ways that I want to grow in a relationship. This is what I would like to do for my partner or how I want to help them. But also, this is how I want my partner to be able to help me. And I think being really open and honest, you know, with this person here kind of being in I don't know, I'm in a reflective mood, you know, kind of looking on the past as I look at what's standing before me here in the present. So this person can truly see your intentions. So you're laying it out. These are my intentions. These are my feelings. This is how I like to help people. Because I think push a little too much. We might we just impress somebody, right? So we put on, the best of the best, our what we call our best face for that person. And we hold back a lot of ourselves because we have a fear of scaring people away. When really, I think that it should be more upfront. Like, this is who I am. And it's very honest, and it helps other people to be very upfront and honest as well. It's like, well, you know what? Here's where I am, and I think that it helps us to become less scared or afraid to get into a new relationship and really open ourselves, because now we don't have to really put on airs. We're not trying to be perfect. We're not trying to really get them to be attracted to us. you know you're just being you, and then this other person, Jade, just gets to be themselves. And I think that that really puts people in a relaxed state, and will definitely help, moving forward. This person definitely has an interest. Um, and I think that if you could, kind of leave that like the door is open. Like, let's have some deep conversation here. I think that the person might enjoy that. So, all right. Excellent. Let's go back here. Aurora says, I got sanctuary for you, Lily. Peg says, let's call him Treely. Lily said, thank you. I needed this. You are so welcome. Katie said, my best intuitions come when I sit next to trees. Oh, ain't that the truth? Um, Peg said, ego, edging God out. Moonchild says, the owl would come visit it perched on the branches. I feel like the owl does come out here. That's so cool. Oh, Kayla. All right. Kayla, let's definitely pull a card for you. Aurora said, Tara, one thing, S&M are in England. I'm in the US, so how can I talk to S? Could you guys talk on the phone? Can you Skype? Could you guys email each other? Is there other forms of, um, let's see, he has me blocked everywhere. Interesting. Hmm. Well, that makes it more difficult if you cannot have the like conversation either through email, through Skype, through FaceTime, direct messaging. It might have to be in the astral. You might have to go in to do this astrally speaking, um, and just try your best that way, because it's not like the astral doesn't work. So I would say you might have to go in the spirit world when you are in meditation, and see if you can call in S's energy, um, and then state your thing. On a conscious level, they may not get it, but subconsciously, they would definitely feel that meditation that you have. Yeah, and then you can go for there. Yeah, just give it a try. Telepathy, yes. Diamond says, I'm open to listen and grow. Says, yeah, he's receptive, can tell body language, and you look at his eyes and say, nice. I love it. Diamond, you can definitely be really helpful to people. And I think that this would be a wonderful person that if you guys do get together, you could definitely help this person. And even if you just remain friends, I think that you'd be beneficial in this person's life, just as I feel like this person would be pretty beneficial in yours. So lovely. Aurora said M is the spiritual one. People don't necessarily have to be spiritual to feel it in like, it's just like their attitude shifts a little bit. Like, when we do a lot of healing work, even with people that aren't considered quote unquote like spiritual, you could still interact with their energy in the astral plane, because you can't stop their energy, what their higher self wants to do. I mean, their ego can do all the blocking they want in 3D, but if their higher self is willing to speak to you, they can't block that. And the higher self is the ultimate say. um Let's see. Lily says, I found my divine love. I almost oversaw him and dismissed him due to past relationships. Thank goodness I gave him a chance on love. You know what they say? It's better to have loved and lost to have never loved at all. Exactly. All right, Kayla. Kayla would like a message from Eco, please. Of course. By the way, Kayla, I love when you post old pictures of Eco on Instagram. I saw one where he was looking really smart, really cute in his little sweater. It was so nice. Okay, Eco. Let's see. Here comes the thunder. Okay, Kayla, interesting. Um, Eco was showing himself as if he was three dogs, and the three of you were like or the three dogs were barking, like bark, 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 bark. And it was like it was. How do I even describe to you? It was like you had your dog, and then the dogs spread out, and all their like it was him, but all his tails were connected, and it was like he had like spread out facing outwards in a circle. So it's like it was like a circle, but all the tails are connected in the middle, and the head is like here. And then he like morphed into like three dogs. So it was like three dogs were trying to speak to you, but it was three ecos. I don't know. I had never really seen that before. That's interesting. Um, okay. 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 So you know how earlier I was talking about the for the week ahead reading that our veil has been thinning for years, and just it would seem like it's even more thin this this upcoming week. Eco says it's going to feel like I'm all over the house, meaning you could be sitting on the couch. You feel like I'm there, but you think you also hear me in the kitchen, and you think you also hear me in the bedroom doing things. Eco's like, I'm trying to show you what true space and time looks like outside of this dimension. He's like, I want to show you that your energy looks like this too. Like he says, when I'm with you, um, I could be a million different places at once because my energy isn't confined to the form that I had here on earth, where if he was here on earth, he's just in that form. Like he's in his dog form. Um, but he says, when I'm in my spirit form, I could be on the other side of the world. I could be on Saturn. I could be with you. I could also be in the kitchen and in the bedroom all at the same time. Um, and he says that's very important for you to understand and know because sometimes you and a lot of us, we get tricked into the belief that the only version of us that exists is the version that's sitting right here, right now, watching this live chat. Um, but he says, if I can be everywhere at once, your energy could also be everywhere at once, except that the main portion of your energy that you're cognizant of is the energy right here that's in this vessel. But he says that's not to say that you can't also be other places. So if you are trying to create something, he says, that's what we are talking about earlier, talking to the future self, talking to future Kayla. Um, he says, you could also tap into the version of you in the past that also has a version of me in the past. Um, and that your energy is like spread out all the time. He says, just so you know, like every time you're trying to work on something, you're trying to think on something, it's kind of like a million different Kaylas are all over the universe right now trying to get the information for Kayla that's on the timeline in 2023 trying to work on this problem on planet Earth. It's like all of the Kaylas coming together for that. And so Eco's like, he wants to help you with that concept. He says he knows it sounds like a bunch of mumbo jumbo right now. He's like, he goes, "I know what Kayla's doing." I was like, "Okay." He says, "So I know it's confusing right now, but he wants you to be able to understand that because it's going to be very important for this upcoming month and for the rest of the year, that you really get to understand that there are other versions of you that exist, and that they all belong to you. And if they all belong to you, that means that you can talk to them, you can call on them, you can become them at any point." And he's saying, just so you know, this is like technically for the future, which has already happened, sort of. He says, but this is going to be really relevant to you later. Okay, so let's pull a card for confirmation, because even I am having, like, I kind of understand what Iko is saying, but even uh, I don't know. It's so hard to explain. It's really hard. Okay, what do we have here? Ooh, the Emperor. So yeah, Iko's like, he says, Kayla's the emperor, I am the emperor, we are all the emperor. He says, and what makes somebody an emperor is that they know that more possibilities exist beyond their perspective. Um, so he says some people feel that in order to embody this energy here, that they have to know everything. Like, I know everything, and I know how everything works, and I'm just like super confident. And Iko's like, it's a little bit of confidence, but what it is really is, I know that there's a million different versions of me. In fact, there's an infinite number of versions of me. Um, I know that I can get myself energetically in alignment with where I want to go. And the version of me that I exist over there looks pretty good. I'm going to go that way. And Eco's like, I'm here to help you with that, because it's going to be very important. He says it's not just for you, but there's a lot of people that are going to be presented with this very, I guess, amorphous concept. I guess it's kind of just, it's hard for me to really explain what he's trying to say, but yeah, that you will definitely start to feel this next month, um, and maybe even start to understand it a little and embody it. And it'll be very beneficial for the rest of the year, but also for a lot of other people as well. And so he just feels like you need that message right now, and then I'll help you a little bit later. So, okay. So Kayla, I hope that helps. I know it's like it's very I don't know, fluffy, or like, yeah, it's just like an intangible concept, really. Let's go back here. Oh, Susie saw 1111 for Kayla. Diamond, you're very welcome. Aurora said, Kayla, I got expansion for you. The spirit guardian of summer. Was summer important to you and Iko? Aw. And Susie said, Kayla, did you name Iko after the song Iko Iko? My bestie and your bestie sit down by the fire. Iko Iko. Katie said, I understand. Lily says, Aurora, visualize them in your mind. Carve their name in small candles. Have 4 elements and say you want them to contact you. As they breathe air, they will receive this message as they walk on earth and water touches them. Katie said, I like that definition. I have claircognizance and I get things without words to describe. Yeah, I get this sometimes, and it's like, which is difficult. I consider myself a communicator. So when I can't communicate, I'm like, Lily says they will contact you. You can also burn their names and message and speak those words. And when you release the ash outside, it worked for me. Kayla said, wow, thank you. Yes, it helps. Aurora says, I can't start a lighter and I don't have matches. Do you have a magnifying glass and some paper? Go outside in the sun. um, Kayla said, after the Dr. John song. Susie said, love that, Kayla, warms my heart. Love that song. Aw. All right, you guys. Well, I think we've come to the end of our chat. I think it's time for a healing. I think that we should do a tree healing, since trees have been coming up a lot lately. What do you guys say, huh? Oh, wow. I'm under a very dark cloud. Perhaps it'll rain on me. Cool. Cleansing rain. All right. So I'm going to put this deck away. And let's go ahead and get ready. Lily said, Aurora, get some matches, girl. Let's do a little bit of a tree healing. So I'm going to leave this here for this tree. Let's see if I can fix the angle here. Maybe we'll look up. Ugh. There we go. Look up into the tree. Look up into the tree. But all right, I'm gonna do a little guided meditation using the tree. And if you guys want to get nice and cozy, I don't know, I feel like we should just kind of like look up into his branches, I guess. Um, Diamond says, I love Arizona. Yeah, so let's get nice and comfortable. So if you guys want to go sit out under a tree, that'd be even more awesome. Um, but find a place that's comfortable for you. So you could be laying down, you could be sitting down, you could be laying in bed, sitting on the couch, whatever's comfortable. And let's just bring our awareness to our breath. I'm going to go ahead and hold on to this tree for this meditation. And just focus on that breath in and out, in and out. And I want you to imagine your favorite tree. Perhaps this is a tree from your past. Maybe it's a tree that you see right in your front yard. But I want you to visualize this tree in as much detail as you can. Your whole focus is looking at every minutia of this tree, from the leaves to the nettles, the branches, flowers. Does it have massive roots, shallow roots? What does the bark look like? Is it smooth? Is it rough? Visualize this tree. Keep breathing in and out, slow and methodical. Full inhales, full exhales, much like our trees. They inhale your breath, exhale your breath. It's a symbiotic relationship. You are not so different from the tree. And the trees want to remind you that you are the trees, just as much as you are the soil, you are the rocks, you are the insects and the animals that live. You are the sun, you are the clouds, you are the rain, you are the air that each of you breathes. And as you see this tree in your visualization, I want you to imagine that a portal has opened up in the trunk of that tree. And you realize that the tree is beckoning you to come inside, where you will be safe, you'll be warm, you will be nourished. And you realize the tree tells the truth. And so you go inside this portal. You sit inside the trunk of this tree. You feel as the tree feels. You can almost feel its sap running through your veins. You feel the million different branches that come off the trunk of this tree. You are in every leaf now. You are in every piece of fruit and every flower. You feel every insect, you feel every bird, and you listen to their song. And you realize that everything that we usually consider nuisance in our life, we tend to brush off the bugs, we brush off the insects. The tree has fun with these things. The tree says, I love when the ants crawl on me. It tickles. I don't know how to tickle myself, so it's a welcome guest on me. I love when the birds sing because I lack the vocal cords to produce such a sound, and so it brings me joy. I have all these beautiful leaves because even if I were a ginormous redwood and I were trying to reach the sky, in which I try, I can never truly touch the sun. But I know exactly how the sun feels on each and every nettle, each and every leaf. And that's how it absorbs source energy. And therefore, I become the sun. And you too feel this inside the tree. You feel the joy. You welcome the insects, the animals. You welcome them because they bring an aspect of you that is difficult for you to do, but you welcome them. They bring the laughter, the tickles, the movement. And I want you to connect to the roots of this tree, feeling down into the soil. And you realize the nourishment has always been just below our feet, just as the nourishment is right above our heads. The nourishment is all around us. Tree says, bird is my nourishment. Ants are my nourishment. Worms are my nourishment. They all nourish me. They are not my enemy. So too are the people that surround you. They nourish you in one form or another, whether we understand it or not. Even if they upset us, they are our nourishment. They help us to see what we cannot see. They help us to speak when we feel we cannot speak. And just as trees says they are connected with every living being on this planet, every tree by a magnificent energetic root system, so too are human beings. Tree says just because you can walk with your two roots and move from one location to the next does not mean that you cannot ground yourself. It doesn't mean that you are not connected to your fellow human. Just plant your 2 feet on the ground and connect. And you remember, and you can feel the collective just as we feel the collective. So next time you feel unsafe, you feel ungrounded, disoriented, you can always come back to this tree. For the tree is you, but the tree is a symbol reminding you of what you can do. You can come back anytime. Continue breathing. And when you are ready, you may exit the tree, give it a hug, thank it for its wisdom and everything that it showed you here today. And you can come back at any time, but you take this knowledge moving forward. In and out. And when you're ready, go ahead and wiggle your fingers, open up your eyes. Woo! All right, you guys. So, my tree. Hopefully you enjoyed that today. Katie said, thank you, Wisdom Tree. That was beautiful. Susie, you're very welcome. Aurora said, OMG, Tara, I just got an owl spirit with wisdom. That is amazing. Katie says, this is making me cry. Oh my goodness. I hope that you all have a beautiful rest of your Sunday. I hope that you have an amazing week. Have fun with the thinning of that veil. Remember, spirit is nothing to fear, even if it comes in the form of a shadow or something that we don't quite understand, maybe you have some initial shock, but all you have to do is go inwards, go into your heart. What is this energy trying to teach me? Even if it was a dark energy, even dark energies have something to teach us about ourselves. Doesn't mean we want to hang out with those dark energies, but it doesn't mean we can't learn from them either. All right. So have a wonderful week. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for hanging out with me in the trees up here on our little mountain known as the Cauldron slash Dwarf Forest. I'll catch you guys later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Bye, guys.